A rare expanded meeting of Nigeria's Federal Executive Council, not to make policy, but to honor a man who once led from this very chamber. Tinubu led tributes to his predecessor, a longtime political ally, Muhammadu Buhari, who died on Sunday.
In a time when men had lost hope that change was possible, Muhammadu Buhari put his faith in the people of this country. We stood together, he and I, alongside others, drawn from across the political spectrum, regions and tongues. We formed an alliance that enabled Nigeria to experience the first true democratic transfer of power from one ruling party to another.
He remembered him as the former president, Mai Gaskiya, the truthful one, and the people's general. He praised Buhari's integrity, calling his life a rebuke to vice and a refuge for virtue.
The purity of his private character gave radiance to the discipline and integrity of his public service. President Buhari was not a perfect man. No leader is. But he was, in every sense of the word, a good man, a decent man, an honorable man. His record will be debated, as all legacies are, but the character he brought to public life, the moral force he carried, the incorruptible standard he presented, will not be forgotten.
Tributes also came from across government. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, who was also once a minister in Buhari's cabinet, had this to say.
Where others sought glory, he sought duty. As a minister in his cabinet, appointed by him, I saw President Muhammadu Buhari unplugged. He was not flamboyant, far from it. His voice was measured, his steps deliberate, his public demeanor austere.
Cabinet ministers who had served under the late president commended his simplicity, discipline, and refusal to enrich himself in office.
I was privileged to serve him in different capacities, and I can attest to his rare discipline.
Late President Muhammadu Buhari will be remembered not only for what he built, but for the lives he touched, the people he stood for.
From the state governors came praise for Buhari's commitment to Nigeria's unity, even during its most fragile moments.
A spirit of national unity and respect for the service that resonates with Nigerians and sets a worthy example for generations to come. The state burial accorded President Buhari reflects the esteem in which he was held, not just by this administration, but by Nigerians in general.
There was an emotional moment from Buhari's son, Yusuf, who thanked the nation for its support.
And indeed all Nigerians at home and in diaspora for the numerous calls, messages, condolence visits, and prayers offered for the repose of the gentle soul of our departed father. Your visits, calls, and prayers symbolized a great honor to the memory of our late father.
There were also tributes from members of the federal cabinet, including Works Minister David Umahi, Health Minister Muhammad Ali Pate, and Solid Minerals Minister Dele Alake.
I had the privilege of serving as a state governor in those 8 years that he presided over the affairs of this country as the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I can recount a number of unforgettable moments with him. One of such was the time I joined All Progressive Congress, the party. I was in PDP. And we had gone to see him, and it was a very trying moment, the time of NSAS. And when the acting national chairman was the governor of Yobe State, I went with Atiku Bagudu, was the then progressive chairman, or progressive chairman, governor's chairman. I went with, His Excellency Badaru, and then his Chief of Staff, Professor Gambari. And after we saw a man so excited and so happy, and when we left him, he called back, Professor Gambari and said something to him. He said, "Today remains one of my happiest moments."
And in lasting tribute to his service, the University of Maiduguri will henceforth be known as the Muhammadu Buhari University. The special FEC meeting that just concluded forms part of a 1-week period of mourning declared by the federal government in marking the end of an era and the legacy of one of Nigeria's most enduring leaders, Muhammadu Buhari. From the presidential villa, Adesoa Omoruan, Arise News.